I'm here with Francisca Valenzuela, the Princess of Rock. So, how's it going so far?
It's been going very well. Very excited to be here in Austin for the second time. We were here for South by Southwest just recently, and it's been great. We just performed. I'm coming off stage. I'm a little like, but it's been great. And Austin has received us really well. The show went good, and promoting my new album, Buen Soldado.
Can you tell me about your new album? How was your experience composing it and getting it together?
I think the most important thing about Buen Soldado is that it's like a new exploration. You know, I knew I wanted to do new things. I did the first album, Muerde de Lengua, in 2007. I produced it with two musicians and the singer-songwriters of Los Bunkers, which is a very well-known band, Chilean band. And I was my first kind of adventure in music and rock music, mainly just doing a rock band and performing and writing songs and, you know, kind of getting a hold of my musical identity. And then I wanted to do something new, and I wanted to sing about different things and to be more social and be more pop as well, and work with new collaborators, producers, and musicians. And I think that's what happened, and I'm really proud and really happy about doing that. And it's been a constant growth. I've gone to do new things, new shows, new performances, new collaborations with other artists, and I'm just very, very happy to be for the first time also in the U.S. kind of more deeply promoting my music, and Buen Soldado has been great in that respect, and people have accepted it and responded great, and I'm excited to perform it live.
Okay, you mentioned you worked with Los Bunkers, and I'm a big fan of them. So how was your experience working with them?
It was great. They were actually kind of my godfathers for the first couple of years, because I had never really... I was performing at the time in just kind of jazz clubs and bars, and my thing with piano, and I wasn't really in the huge rock thing. I made a band, and we were kind of seeing what happened, and at the time they came and saw my show, and they're like, we love what you're doing, you have to make an album, you have to work with us, whatever. And they were, I mean, they're such prolific musicians, and they really, really did teach me such great things, and they taught me how to really be a disciplined rock musician and to perform live and to have real instruments and never do playback, and, you know, all these things that I've incorporated in my kind of work ethic that we do day-to-day basis. And it was great. We're always in touch up till now. They're doing great, and I'm so happy that they're representing Chile also in the rock Latin international industry. And then for this new album, it was great also to work with other people that were different. You know, I think it's also a great thing to grow artistically, and to everything that I learned from, you know, Franci and Mauri Duran from Los Bunkers, I incorporated, and now I worked with two other amazing producers, one Chilean, one from Canada, and they also taught me great things and incorporate that.
You started out young. I know you put out 2 poem books, and your first single, Peces. You know, how do you feel you've grown as a writer from your first album until your second album right now?
I think the growth has been something very organic, but just something important in the sense that I always want to be doing new things. I think thematically in composition, for example, I knew I'm always trying to look for different stories to tell, and whether I wrote Peces and Muerde de Lengua was more teenage angst, this one has that confessional side, but also wanted to incorporate songs about being a man and write about being a soldier, write about being a man in prison, like Crónica, and kind of tell new stories and challenge myself to do that. I think also musically it's the same thing. I learned how to perform playing the piano. I wanted to perform with the guitar. I wanted to perform with nothing and dance. I wanted to perform with drums and things that I'm doing live now. So it's just a constant growth, and it's not only musically. I think it's constantly in the visual arts of whatever, you know, and all the disciplines that music these days have, whether it's from your promotional, you know, plan and your social media to your videos to your everything becomes part of this big project. And so I'm just day to day growing and looking for new stuff to do, whether it's in English and Spanish, if it's rock, if it's pop, if it's by myself or with a band, or so on.
Growing up, did you ever think you were going to be dubbed like the Princess of Rock in Chile? I mean, how was that?
Not really. I think it's much more spontaneous than that. I think it's been great, and I think it's such a privilege to have people respond to what you do, and to have the content and the material speak for itself before anything else. You know, being an independent artist and being someone that started knocking. I went to every single radio with my demo, and one liked it, and thanks to that one radio that started to play it, because no other person would and no other label wanted me, people responded to that naturally, and just uploading stuff online, and it was kind of a snowball effect that, you know, years later I'm here in ACL, and it's been great. But I think you just do your best and kind of work towards doing new things, but never kind of expect certain things. I'm not like, yeah, I have to be the Princess of Rock. No, it just kind of happened, and suddenly I was performing all over Chile and then all over Latin America, and it's been a great adventure, and I think it's kind of just starting. I'm just learning how to do it, professionally, and be here in the States, or be in Mexico, or be in Argentina, or be in Spain, and just keep, making interesting content and material, whether it's music or videos or books or whatever I feel like being creative about.
This is just completely out of curiosity. Did that guy you wrote Besses about know that you were talking about him?
He actually is so funny. That song. So what's so funny is that I wrote that song and I started performing it in school, and all my friends loved it. It became this like girly hymn, And he actually did eventually. It was so funny. He's like, "Yeah, that song was written about me." But it's just, I think it reflects even more than the fact that he inspired it. Just reflects the moment, And it's like so important that you just feel so crappy about what guy you like or you don't like. And of course, those are emotions that I absolutely biographically manifest with a little bit of drama, But it's all that important stuff. And yeah, he knew at the end. And my friends were like, "Oh, we all knew it was for him."
Okay, so how do you feel your bicultural heritage has influenced your music?
I think it's a privilege to be, bicultural. I think having grown up in California and in Chile, now have been back and forth and developing my professional career in both, has been difficult and challenging, but at the same time rewarding, in the sense that you're so enriched by so many things. I think living in the States and California particularly, you're in such a progressive society, so open, so modern, so liberal, and also with such a strong cultural pop heritage. I mean, you listen. I remember growing up listening to, from Mariah Carey to Tupac to Gypsy Kings to Gloria Estefan to the Beatles to Patti Smith. I think that enrichment was important. And then coming to Chile and being exposed to Latin American music, whether it's Charly Garcia or Fito Páez or Violeta Parra, and also incorporating the social premise of many Latin American artists was also very important. And to be able to literally contribute in some way to your country and to Latin America, whether it was through music or through social things that I began to participate in, I think that has been also an incredible opportunity, which I don't know, in some place as big as the US, it would have come so easily in the beginning. Because, you see Obama and you see Beyonce, right? And it's amazing, and, you admire these people, but at the same time, coming in from a smaller country, I think the impact you can make is so amazing and exciting and motivating.